Hello friends, myself Professor A.D. Gujar, working in a computer engineering department, BSUR, as an assistant professor. Uh, Today we are going to learn the LP2 assignment, uh, study assignment on component and deployment diagram of employee management system. So the learning objectives of this assignment are that the student will understand how to draw the component and the deployment diagrams for any system, say for example employee management system. So the outcomes of this assignment, that after completion of this assignment student will be able to draw the component and the deployment diagram. So first see what is the component diagram and why it is used. So this component diagram, it is used, or it represents the physical aspects of a system. The physical aspects that are the replaceable parts of the system. The components can be executables, libraries, tables, files, or documents. The components represents the physical packaging of logical elements such as classes, interfaces, and collaborations. Now these are represented by the rectangles. Now the different types of components which are present in a system are some deployment components are there. So that are uh, the DLLs, EXEs, executable files. So these are the executable systems that can be formed by these files. Then the work product components are there. So these work product components, this consist of source code files and data files from which the executable system can be developed. The third one is the execution component. These are created as a consequence of the executing system. So these are the three different types of components which can be taken while designing the system. Now the components, these are already we know these are the physical aspects, represent the physical aspects of a system. Now what are the interfaces, different types of interfaces? So these are the interfaces which are shown, but before that, looking to the interfaces, we will see that whatever the different kinds of components we have seen, that the executables, the libraries, files, or document, the executables, they are used to specify that the component will be executed on a node. The library that specifies a static or dynamic object library. So the data can be taken from that library, or the function can be executed from that library. Then the file, when the document contains source code or data, then that component is specified using this stereotype. Okay. And the document, it denotes that the component represents a document. Now to connect all these components, there are some interfaces that are provided into the in this along with this in this design of component drawing. So these different types of interfaces, what we have to see is the first type of interface, which provided interface. This interface is provided by one component as a service to other component. So this has been shown in the diagram, that is the provided interface. Okay, so provide interface, this and this provide interface that is shown. Now the required interface, in this required interface, this is used by one component when it is when it requests to get service from the other component. So this component, order component, did request service from this other component, form component. So this is providing service and this is requesting the service. So this dependency is there of this object from on this object. So we can say it as the dependency. So provide interface and a request interface. So it is shown in this diagram with the uh, with the interface uh, component. So the deployment component are here. The deployment components are the executable systems can be formed. So that we have seen that DLLs have been formed. So these are the components which we have seen. So here the that has been shown that how the interface has been created to form the interaction between the two components. So this first component, order component, that is requesting the service from the form component. In this way, that is using the services which are provided by the form component. There is a this employee management system. We have taken this example of employee management system. In this employee management system, you can see how this employee management system, these are the different components which are drawn by using some software, UML drawing software. So these are the components are shown in this diagram. So we will let us now see that how this components can be drawn by using some software. So let us see the example here about how that components can be uh, drawn. Okay, so let us start with the project. You will see here the now we have to start with the component. So what different components we have seen that uh, first is the first component that we have to take is the employee management system. Okay, this system is there. Another, the components which are present in the system, they are employee, then another component that is you have seen the attendance component, attendance component. Next one is the salary component. You can add this component, salary component, and another component that is the leaves. Suppose that employee has the leaves, uh, you can take a separate component for that. So now this, as we can see here, how that software components has been shown. Now, as we know that this employee management system that depends on these components. So what we will see here, we will show the dependency path. So this is the employee management system is depends on the this employee component. Another is the attendance. Third one is the salary. The fourth one is the leave. So how this employee management system it is working, it depends on these components. Now these components, they are also taking support of another components. That another components are we have shown. One is the security and another is the database. Okay, so this security and the database, that components we will draw here. The security component, this component is security component, and another is the database component. database components. So these are the components which we have taken. So these components are now should be get connected to this whatever the components which are present in our system. So now how that representation in terms of that provide the interface and uses the interface that as already we have seen that the provided interface and required interface are showing that these are the providing the interface security, and these are required interface. So this employee or this attendants will need creating interface with the security, and let us say this salary and this leaves this needs the this needs the uh, interface with the database. So how that are created, that we will see. So this is the interface which is to be created. Now take the interface here. Here we can take the interface here, and there this interface we can name it as the security interface. We can show encryption. Okay, that encryption is provided, encryption, and this will be and now this particular this employee, this depends on this interface which is provided by this uh, security security component. So similarly this salary component is there. This component this depends on the database, which is data which is present in the database. So we can create here the access control, whether that has the access control. So this component we can create here. This component we call it as the access control. Access control. Now this is having association with the database, and when that particular database is to be accessed, this should have this salary component should access this database. So now this is depending on this database. So therefore we have shown this dependency of this component by this way. So in this way, the component diagram for the employee management system has been drawn. Okay. Okay. So now let us see the deployment diagram which we are going to draw for the employee management system. The deployment diagram, it is used to represent the physical aspects of object oriented system. This deployment diagram contains two main things. First the nodes, and second one is the dependency or association relationship. That means how these nodes are related with each other. Also it contains the nodes and constraints. If some more details are required, it can we can also contain the nodes and the constraints. A node is a physical element that exists at runtime. So what we are going to represent in this deployment diagram, the basically the nodes which are the physical entities. Now how the node is represented, that we will see in this diagram. The database server, which is a node in the system, that is represented with this block, that means the rectangular block is shown here, or a cube is there. The nodes execute the components, whatever component diagrams which we have shown earlier, that component diagrams are executed by these nodes. These components are deployed with the nodes physically. So whatever the components are there in the system that are deployed into the these nodes. In the employee management system, we have seen the employee node is created, and this employee node has now these components which are present. One is the designations and another is the names. So these are the two executable files which we have seen. These are the components which are present in the system. So these designations and the names, these components that will be used by this department, and the address components. So these components, they will utilize this uh, the whatever the components are present in the employee node. The set of objects allocated to a node is the distribution unit. So whatever the objects have been allocated to this node, this is called as the distribution unit for that node. Now, what type of the diagram or this deployment diagram which we are going to draw for the employee management system is like this. So we will draw this diagram for the employee management. Now, in this diagram, we have shown the three servers are there, and the application server, database server, and the web server, each having these nodes have the different functions. So they will have these components which are incorporated in them, and the users which are also situated at different locations in the system, user 1, user 2, or admin, they will also access this web server. And we have shown the dependency of this diagram. So let us now see the let us now see that how these nodes have been drawn by using the star UML. We can see here in this star UML. Okay. So in this implementation, we have to just add the node. So node, that if we add the node, and if we just write the application server, we just drag and put it here, application server. Another server, if we want to add, then we have to just add with this adding another node, that is the database server. Just add the another server, database server. Then the third the third is the web server. This web server have been added. So all these nodes have been added. Now another three nodes are there, also there. They are the user 1, user 2, and third one is the admin. Okay. So these three nodes now just peek into the canvas. Now this, as we know, these three users are there. Admin have the special rights. We have to show. Now all these three users are these dependent on the web server. So we have shown the dependency like this. Then we have shown that the web server is associated with this application server. This application server, this database server is depending on the application server and the web server services. Now, what type of components here we are added in these nodes? So these are all nodes which are present in the system that we have seen. Now, in this application server, we have to present this the components. First, in the application server, attendance, leave, and salary report. That components are needed to be inserted. So how that are going to be inserted, let us see. Here we have to first